So it seems like obviously your assignment won't be to like model a dude like this. Or probably, I mean, this is like character modeling super hard and it's like they work simultaneously in mirroring and it's very complicated. But there are lots of free models online. So 3D Warehouse has models. That is, it used to be Google, now SketchUp owns it. Oh my. The world's changing. So they have very, very, very nice models, but they are for SketchUp. Doesn't mean you can't use it to visualize. It does mean it might go to crap once you import it, but give it a go. If you want to take a SketchUp model, like there's no reason for you to probably model this bike, right? Yeah.
Could you just export it as a 3ds file and then import it into something else and fix it up?
It's usually, in my humble opinion, unfixable.
Yeah.
But doesn't visually it might be fine. 3D printable, it's 99.9% crap. Visually, I would say it's like 70% gonna work. Sometimes it doesn't work at all, and you just go find another bike. You know what I mean? Let's see. Here's Godzilla. So why on earth would you model Godzilla again, right? But what this will not do is have the sort of you could not take this and then, oh my goodness, we get it. Geez, stop with the messages. In a nice way, you couldn't get this model walking the same way that that man was walking. I think it would split apart. So certain things you can use to animate and certain things in 3D Max won't animate well. But certainly whatever you're thinking of, don't necessarily reinvent the wheel. So 3D Warehouse, free models, then Thingiverse, which is a 3D, this is for 3D print, but they also will have, you know, these sort of, like, if you want a city, you know, you've seen these mini cities that I've been printing forever. You know, there's no reason to make a city. You just go and download City Escape. And because these are for 3D print, they're usually like a little bit more solid than SketchUp. But again, you are using it just to visualize. We're not even talking about 3D printing yet. This is just for visualization techniques. And so either could potentially work. So again, the storyboard is about your idea. You're doing research about like what you're interested in. I highly recommend if you have a studio project that's ready to sort of, you know, I think some of the bachelors of interdisciplinary design students, some of you are in that capstone studio, which means you already have a capstone you're working towards, theoretically. This is a nice opportunity to sort of merge those things. And then, you know, not do all the double work for it. So going into 3D Max, right now I'm doing the studio setup. Oof, wow. I've never used this one before. Oops, and I need, hold on. Sorry guys. Alright, come on. So yeah, with regards to animating objects, we're just going to go over sort of the possibilities of that. Again, like you can sort of do a lot with a little if you are aware of, if you plan it in advance. Another thing, like let's say we're going to take, I'm just going to import the non-native file again. Okay. Okay, so we have this file again. I think that, for the most part, I will decide that I want to work off of this for my animation. But instead of doing like insane stuff with the cameras whirling around, etc., I think I will instead like sort of animate this object. And what I'm going to do is, well, architects know it as exploded axons, but I think I'm just going to use move to create an exploded axon that explodes out and then goes back together. So again, this is a super simple technique. It's going to, I will show the non-architects what an exploded axon is. An exploded axon typically takes components of, this is a very complex one, takes components of an architecture and separates them all out. That's nonsensical. I have no idea what's going on there, but... And the idea, so like for this one, that's very nice, but I don't know what it is. So for this one, it's like the top part's a roof, then the next part is the framing members, and then the next part, no, go away. And the next part is the walls, and the next part is sort of floor framing, and then the footing. So by sort of exploding these elements out, I'm able to see different details about it. This is just like one technique, but the reason I'm showing you this is it's going to be like a really nice animation, and all I had to do is keyframe move instead of sort of modeling or changing things like that. So first thing I'm going to do is adjust all my my sort of keys down here, go down to my time configuration. I'm still going to just make this a 10-second video. I want to maybe animate different things. I'm going to have like 3 scenes in it or something, so I'll just make this 300. And I'm going to create a camera. I'm going to, I think this is an okay view for what I want, and this is a really handy tool. Create physical camera from view, and I'm like, super, great. Boom, there it is. And then if I Alt W, I have a camera that was automatically created, so that's the physical camera part, so you always want to click physical so you can manipulate it later. And now I can sort of keep my window open down here and start moving elements. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab everything and turn on auto. And I'm just going to say, like, let's see if I do something super basic. 150. And this is going to be annoying because I already know how many of these stupid parts I have. Oops, wrong one. This one. Here. And back to here. And so very quickly, I've sort of just, oh, wrong one. You know, just did something very simple. It was already modeled. I'm just moving it. I'm not learning how to model in 3D Max. I'm not learning any of these. Let's say that one of the things I've noticed is you can always like freeze this in After Effects and like work on it, maybe like annotate some text over it. So that's great. Super happy with that. And I think you can clearly sort of see how you could maybe like pull the bench out, move the roof up, all these other things. Go back to this key and then turn on all the keys again. Auto. Oops. Oops. You know, I think that's super simple and has the opportunity to sort of be a very descriptive, quick animation. So if you are so bored by this, however, and this does not interest you at all, we can do different kinds of easy animations. Don't save. Don't save. So again, if you have spheres like a primitive, you can, or any sort of any sort of object really. So you could download a random object from the interwebs, and you can now like manipulate this as an object. So if you move it here, and we'll just put this on auto, and we'll key its current position. Okay. And then let's say we change the scale. So you can do it uniform. You can just make it flat. Oops. No, I want to do that. Move it here. And then we'll make it flat. And then turn auto off and hit play. It very slowly squishes. If you want to squish and then go all the way to the end and then rotate it, it will very slowly rotate as it squishes. The world is not a ball, it is actually flat. And then if you want to, I mean, there's other ways you can do this, but let's say we have another sphere. And I just want, and let's make it plain. Up and over. So now I'm like faking a bouncing ball or something. So I think that this sort of technique is like easily achievable. There are ways to make it bounce, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I'll just take this off. Okay. So that's just using your keyframes and these sort of three techniques right here. And that's you can do a lot with just sort of these manual techniques. There are additional sort of object types here. I think one that people use a lot is text. If you are a graphic designer, then finding some of the 3D Max sort of text, text tools would be useful to you, although I clearly don't remember how to use them very well. And then, yes. Edit. Select. Oh, select all, select none. Edit. Oh. Just click on this. This is like in Photoshop when you are accidentally stuck in a command and you hit V to get out of it. That's where you want to go. So I'm not sure what you did. So when you select and link, you've made like a connection of an object to another object. So you might have to right click and there might be, let me see if I can connect and connect. You might have to sort of disconnect that connection somehow. So that's why it's not working. So, no, it's not working. I guess I haven't selected anything. Nope. William, can you help her? I'm going to see if this crashes my computer before I have you know what I'm doing. Okay, here you go. For those of you that need people to do stuff. There is this populate tool, and they are animation and populate, and you can simulate people doing things. What am I on? And let's see. Ooh, you can change your stick figures. These are just fun things to do. Ooh, see, that's nice visually. You can delete people. So this is a tool to just use if you want to sort of add people to your animation. I'm looking for a specific thing, and I just animate. I'm just going to move it out of this one. And I think I'm just going to delete everything. Create. Target camera. Camera. Animate. Transform. That's good. And I think that this is a super useful tool. And it's called path constraint. So, you know how all of your cameras were all over the place because you couldn't really control it? Well, you can control, and this is like the only animation technique I'll really show you, but it's because it's kind of advanced. But all you need is a path and an object. I use it for cameras frequently because that's what I usually do. But you can clearly see how you could draw a line and then have a bunch of objects follow that line in a sort of uniform fashion. So for me, it's so that I can get a very controlled view of this. So it's really basic. Again, you have whatever object you're animating, and then I go over to my second tool here, and that's where your shapes are. Wait, did I do that here? No. Yeah, lines and circles and arcs, things like that, rectangles. And you can actually find different sort of shapes here too. And then at the same time you can try and draw them with one of these tools, but I usually don't use them that much. Either way, all you need then, once you have your object, I'll just do another one because it's like a sphere. I'll put it on this side. So it's like a weird thing that it's always associated with. So once you have your object and you've kind of positioned it relative to your sphere that you're interested in, you click on the object, go to animation, go to position controllers and path constraint. Once you click on there, it's going to be like sort of scrolling around your screen looking for a way to a path. So I'm not done with this command yet. It's asking for a path input. And every time I go over a path, it will have those crosshairs, which is like, is this the path you want? And then you click it. And it's moved it to here. There is a way to control it, but we'll go over that later. And now, great. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, so you need an object and a path. And once those two things have been created, you can constrain them. So you can make everything move down a straight line and then come back, so forth, so on. So I want to say like move, both the objects are on there. They're just in the same position. The camera's still there. It's moving in the sphere with it. I wasn't clicked on there. Do you see how I'm in the sphere in camera 001? So it will only animate if whatever window you're clicked on. So if I click back here and hit play, but I'm in the sphere. So the sphere and the camera, so that's why it's pretty complicated. The sphere and the camera automatically, when you do the path constraint, it goes to what it considers 0. And if you don't want it to be positioned there, you have to tell it that. So again, it's a little complicated, but click on the sphere. No. It's called position. No. Nope. Where is it? Why does this always happen? Modify. Hemisphere. Oh no, I can't find this. Do you know where this is, William? It is. I don't use this very often. Ah, here it is. So it's just going to default animate it however it feels. If you want to change it, the best way to do that is to key under the path options. So that's underneath the one thing that really sucks about this software is like you have to sort of scroll within this giant tab. So this is under the motion tab, and it's all the way at the bottom. And what you're looking for is path options. So at the path options, there is a sort of percentage. And so it's asking you at this time at 142, at frame 142, it has automatically said it will be at 47.33. Let's say we want it to be at 16. It will then move on the path and it will continue on generically. So you have to manually move it. If you want to animate it, you have to turn your keys on. So right now, all I did was just readjust its first place to start. But if you want to say, have this ball maybe go I'll turn the automatic key on, and we'll put this at 10, and then we'll go here and we'll put it at 180, and then we'll go here and we'll put it, did I get it? Yeah. And then we'll put this at 10. Oops. Back to 10. I don't know what this will do. I'm just seeing. And then you hit play. So now I've basically told it to animate much faster than the camera and then to turn around at some point, apparently. So that's all we have time for. Come in with the storyboard ideas and do some research about what you're interested in, keeping in mind that you have to animate in 3D Max and then use After Effects as well. Yes. Huh? I'll find a storyboard thing to post, but it's really like an idea. So I'll look for something though, and I'll put it online. It's what I'm going to do right now. Yes. Yes.
Well, I made a story. I made a lip.
Mm-hmm.